is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, welcome to the webinar. Ron here at Ablesys. I'll be glad to go over the charts and take a look at the signals from today, yesterday. Two really good days, especially yesterday. Wow! And then the last hour today, the market just went straight down, and the trend just gave out a beautiful sell signal. So good stuff, and also going to show you the new scalp chart. Going to introduce that, and it's kind of interesting. I think you'll like what you see. It's for short-term trading, and it's basically for just getting in and out very quickly. A lot of people like to do that. Maybe trade multiple contracts, and you could also do micros. You don't have to do normal if you're smaller, more comfortable trading smaller amounts. And I think you'll find it helpful. You could also download that at the website, and I'll go through that. I'll go through that in a minute and give you the details on that. So let's jump in and take a look. We've got here the Qs chart. This is a daily, weekly chart because Ableton is very versatile. It fits many different styles because no two people are alike and have everybody's different likes and dislikes and risk tolerance. And some people like to make a lot of trades in a day and get in and out quickly. Some people hate that. I mean, everything is different. Some people have no interest in short-term trading because they're working, and obviously you can't work and be a day trader. So Ableton works great for the longer term, which is this chart right here. So just imagine, it just depends on whatever your style is and whatever, however long you can be in front of your computer, that would dictate whether you're a short-term or more longer-term trader. So let's take a look and see. Nasdaq, first time since March, it's had 3 down days in a row. So clearly we look like we're topping out here, at least temporarily, on the Qs, and that's why I put this chart up here. Very interesting chart. We've come right back down to support, daily support, and stopped right here today. It's just so accurate, these dots. I mean, they're just so fantastic because the prices just go right to the dots and stop. We put those dots in there 4 days ago. It's not like after the fact, which would be cheating because anybody could do that. Obviously we're on a huge, big, long buy signal with the daily and the weekly. The weekly are the arrows pointing up. That's a very strong support point that it's a lot of buying is going to be coming at that point. And then the dots are the daily, where you can see many times it hit the dot, next day went up. Hits the dots, bounces off of it, goes higher. Stops at exactly the Ableton dot. A couple days later, goes right back up again and again and again. You can see it like 15 times. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. Now, if it does break through, well, we've got another strong support point, even stronger. Let me just say something very important. The higher the time frame, the stronger the support and resistance is, meaning the bigger the bounce when it hits that point. So this being a weekly buy signal, the blue dot being a daily buy signal, kind of interesting. We'll see what happens here. Okay, good. Everything's running good. So we'll see. I mean, it could drop down to this point, and then if it does, boy, that'd be a super buying opportunity if it does. But we'll see if it bounces off this tomorrow or not. Interesting point, because it's the first time since March, the Nasdaq, all the big tech stocks, 3 days in a row down. Interesting. And notice how the price has stopped exactly at the dot. That is cool. That's good information to have. And we're just always looking for triple confirmation to get into trades, the beginning of the trades. We're looking for blue bars, and let me jump over to Nasdaq today. We're looking for a blue, in this case, dot, a blue X, a blue. You just want X's and dots and arrows. You just want everything blue. The more you got, the better. But the main thing are the arrows. I've switched my higher time frame, in this case 3 minute, I've switched it to arrows. We picked up a nice trade right at the open today, minutes, well, right about the open. You've got the red bar, you've got the red 2 minute, which is the X, the 1 minute sell signal, that's the dot, and the 3 minute sell signal is the arrow. It just made them different so we know what's the 1 minute, what's the 2 minute, what's the 3 minute. Really doesn't matter, because as long as it's red, everything is red, that means you got 3 different time frames all agreeing it's going to go lower. Well, I mean, that's a lot of odds piled in our favor. That means it's very low risk. And that's what we look for. That's what makes Ablesys so much different and better than everything else, because, and we get so many less losing trades than other indicators, because we only trade when all 3 indicators, all 3 time frames agree. Otherwise, we call it a no trade zone. So that keeps us out of a lot of chop and a lot of sideways and a lot of trouble before it happens. We're out before that happens, after we get beat up. But I guarantee you there'll be losing trades. Guaranteed. This is no perfect system. There isn't anything like that in the world. Okay, I'm just going to show this 1, 2, 3 chart here. I also like to keep a 15-minute up just to see the bigger time frame, and a 3-9. But this is the beginner webinar, so I'm going to keep it a little, just keep it simple. You don't have to have those charts, by the way. That's just something that I do, watching it every day for 16 years. And somebody who's maybe a little bit more experienced, you can look at multiple different charts, but it's not needed. Repeat, not needed. This is what's most important: 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute. We start off the day with a great trade. We're going to go short here. We've got quadruple confirmation. There's the 2 greens in a row. So now we're going to look for the 2 green exit. Stop's just going to go just slightly above the top of the red bar. And that was a very long bar. You totally understand that, because shorter bars, of course, are lower risk. So just get in at the second bar and put the stop on top of that. Keep it simple. And that would have been a nice little start for the day. A couple of people said they did very well on that trade. They were real happy. Just got to suffer too. So you'd be short at 11,002. As the dots go lower, we're going to put the stops lower, but not on the dot, always at the next higher dot. So when the price was down here, we didn't put the stop on this dot, we put it up there. Give it plenty of room to breathe. Don't worry, I know it's far away, but more than likely you're going to get a blue. We're going to be out before we hit that anyhow. That's just a precautionary stop in case something just wildly goes crazy in the next minute. When we get 2 green bars in a row, now that means green means sideways. 2 in a row means, okay, it's getting a little weak. So we're going to put the stop 2 points above the higher of the 2 green bars. It would be stopped out right exactly there when the price went up through that point. Stop goes up through that point, up through that point. Stop is right there. So we got in at 02, we got out at 85, so let's just, 17 points, let's make it 15. I always like to lower the actual gains because there's slippage and there's commissions and all of that. So, first trade of the day, picked up $300 in 6 minutes for, a serious, disciplined, able to trade who trades the charts and not their emotions. Because if you or I or anybody trades their emotions or their feelings, you just a guaranteed way to blow out your account. Can't work. You've got to trade the signals. I guarantee your feelings or emotions or mine, and certainly mine, that's for sure, would not even compare to the algorithms of 3 different time frames. It's just wouldn't even be a close comparison. So the more you can do it and put your feelings aside, the better. Now, if it still can't do it, then trade a smaller amount of money so that you don't have that crazy nervous feeling. Or day trading is not for you, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. You have to swing trade stocks or ETFs, that kind of thing. One big gigantic no trade zone right in there. Now, losing trade here, stop out goes, stop just goes just under the bottom of the blue bar right there. triple confirmation sell right there. You got to look for the arrows first, or if you're using X's, the big X's. That's what you want to look for first. If you don't have that higher time frame, it's a no trade zone. Here, the higher time frame says to go short, it's red. The lower time frame says to go long, it's blue. The bars are blue, it's a mix of colors. When you have a color mix vertically, no trade zone. Triple confirmation buy signal right there. That's what we're looking for. When you're looking at it live, you go, there we go. There's the arrows, beautiful. Crosses, dots, everything is blue. Those are the different buy signals on the different time frames. So we're going to go long, we're going to buy it at the close, that bar, up and away we go. Got a 2 green bar exit there. We got to be at least 10 points. Otherwise, I'm not going to use the 2 green bar exit. I have to have a good profit. So, up here would stop out. And that worked out nice. I mean, that was 30 points. That's another 600 in the bank. But keep in mind, it was 2 losing trades right here too. Then the 1 big winner there. So, we're up about 500. The first 2 hours of trading, just trading 1 lot. Triple confirmation buy signal there. Up the way it goes. Nice winner there. Triple confirmation sell. Small loser, triple confirmation sell. I'll call it a small winner, but I'll call it a break even. Triple confirmation sell. Nice winner there. Look at that thing go down. If everything is red, meaning red dots, red X's, red arrows, meaning 1 minute sell signal, 2 minute sell signal, 3 minute sell signal, stay short. You're in a downtrend. And then the big winner of the day, right there. Oh my, was that a beauty. Last hour of the day, the market sold off bad. So we'll see. So the last couple days now, that Nasdaq sold off at the last hour. Usually a sign that we'll see what happens. It could be a little bit of a change after 5 straight months of going up. Could be a little bit of a change. We'll see. I don't go by what I think. I go by the chart. And that daily, weekly chart I showed you first, we're right at support, daily support. We'll see. If we broke under weekly support, just going back to that, here's daily support. If we happen to break and close under weekly support, then we got a trend change. And then we head lower. But at the time, we'll see what happens. So look at this here. I mean, this is beautiful. Look at this sell signal right here. This is just a thing of beauty. Down and away we go. Now, here are 2 greens, and we'd be stopped out right there. There's the 2 greens in a row. So we're going to go short here at 980. We're stopped out here at 940. That's a $1,000 winner. 50 points for the Nasdaq. Just one contract is $1,000. So after being up a lot of money going into this trade, Ablesys gave us another $1,000 winner today. This was only in 15 minutes. But you got to be a very disciplined, serious trader, patient, wait for the signals, just be like a robot. It's the only way you can win. Because if your emotions or my emotions come into play, I wouldn't ever have one winner. I would just be destroyed. Okay, so now you say, where do I get back in? Because there's your obvious winning trade there, but here's your sweet spot. Oh, what a perfect sweet spot. Pull back, hits the red dots, bounces off of it, goes back down again. Here's the key. The green bar goes to red. Close of that bar, or the open of the next bar, right there. We're short. We've got a 1 minute sell signal, it's blue. We've got a 2 minute sell signal. I'm sorry, the 1 minute dot is a sell signal. It's red. We've got a 2 minute sell signal, the X, it's red. We've got a 3 minute sell signal, the arrow, it's red. It just doesn't get any better than that. I don't know what anybody could possibly want. Being realistic, that's better than that. That's a super screaming sell signal, triple, quadruple confirmation low risk. There isn't a blue bar or a blue dot in sight. Jump on it. And you're getting in at the dots, which I've said a bazillion times. That's the best place to get in. That's the lowest risk place to get into a trade. So good stuff right there. Down and away it goes into the close, which is right about in here. We picked up 70 points on that trade. That's $1,400 in the last 30 minutes for serious, disciplined, able trend traders. It just doesn't get any better than that. And that was coming off of a $1,000 winner, 50 points, the trade before that. So just another huge winning day for a very disciplined trader. And that's the tough part, is the discipline part. Believe me, I understand. Now I'm going to jump into, because I'm running out of time here, I'm going to jump in real quick, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you the scalp chart. If you want to download this chart, it's now online. You have to go to our website and re-download AbleTrend. When you re-download it, you go to File, Open Workspace, right on top, Scalp 315. This is a totally different, it's totally different indicators and settings. So you have to download it. It's the only way to get this chart, is to download it and just click on Scalp 1, 2, 3, 15. So 1 minute, 3 minute, 15. It's got different indicators and different settings and all that stuff. So this is the only way to get to it. You double click on that. Now, if you use IB, you double click on IB. If you use e-signal, you use NQF. That's the symbol. It's the same chart. It's just that every broker uses a different symbol in futures. In stocks, every broker's IBM is IBM. Apple's APPL. The APL. But in futures, it's the same chart, but everybody's using a different symbol. If you're using Infinity, well, that's obvious, NQ Infinity. If you use Ameritrade, NQ Ameritrade. So just have to double click on that chart, and this chart will open up for you. So going back to yesterday, well, the way we use this chart is same rules as far as triple confirmation right there, a little past the open yesterday, but this is for scalping. Now, if you want to stay in the trade, oh my God, you made thousands of dollars just per one contract just on this trade because it stays under the dots. However, and so the point is, this trade is good for counter trend trading and trend trading, because when the markets are choppy, they bounce off of support and resistance. So this is where this really is going to, this works well in both chop and trend. Yes, it's available on Ninja also. You just have to re-download your Ninja from our website. Click the download button and do that. The premise of this is just for short-term trading. However, if the bars are still red, stay in the trade and make 10 or 20 points. The purpose of a scalper is to just make a couple of points. And by the way, it works just as good, if not even better, I've noticed, on ES, on the S&P Mini. So it works just as good. It's not just for NQ. You could use it on the Russell, works just as good on the Russell, on the ES. And I'm not a big Dow watcher, but I just would assume it would for that too. This is strictly for scalping the E-minis. You're just looking for a couple of points. As far as exits, you determine the exits. The best thing to do is to use multiple contracts and automatically take one off after 5 points for NQ or 1 point for ES. And then you just, a scalper is only interested in a couple of points. So we're not looking to make a bunch. If you want to, you've got the opportunity to do so. But you're going to get a lot more green bars than you would on our normal chart. So that's why I can't say to use the 2 green bar rule on stop the stop point on this, because you're going to get a lot more green bars. This is a slower chart, even though it's 1 minute, 3 minute, 15 minute, and obviously the 1 minute of the 1 minute dots. The arrow, these are points where you want to be selling. When the price gets to that arrow on those 3 minute, those are the points where you want to be scalping. And that works actually very good in a choppy market. So, because you're counter trend trading at those points. The bigger red arrow would be the 15 minute. And if the price ever gets to that, that's like a really low risk super trade. You know, the 1 minute bounces off of 1 minute. Like, look, if you scalped it right there, not only did you not get 5 points, you got about 100 points. But you're just looking for short-term trades. This is if you're a scalper. Not everybody wants to scalp, but if you scalp, you can trade the bounces. You want to short it at the red dots. Of course, you have triple confirmation short right there. You know, everything is lined up perfect right there. You want to the next best place to short are the medium-sized arrows. That's even lower risk. And for really low risk is at the bigger arrow, which is the 15-minute resistance point. So keep it simple. That's all it is. Keep it simple. Here, we would not short, of course, we would not short on a blue bar. The same way we would never buy on a red bar, because red and blue are complete opposites. So you can short it right there. There's a red arrow. Remember, the best place to short it are the big arrows. The next best place to short it are the medium-sized arrows. And then the next after that would be the dots, because the dots are the 1 minute, the arrows are the 3 minute, and the big arrows are the 15 minute. So right there, there's a short. Why? Because it just bounced right off that red arrow. Not the blue bars, but the green, absolutely. We now buy and sell for scalps on green bars. And this thing just dropped 20 points. So, you know, again, scalpers are not looking to take advantage of these big, long trends. It's like, well, where do I get out? Where do I put my stop? You're just looking for a scalp. That's the definition of a scalper. It's not for everybody. It's for making multiple trades, greatly increasing your win percentage, because, I mean, there was like 30 winners, you know, on this chart. And it's just for, you know, hit and run. However, if the bars are still blue and you're on your way up, I would say, you know what? You could make maybe 10 or 20 or as much as 100 points on some of these. But if you're a scalper, that's not your mentality. So that's why it's much easier to scalp with multiple contracts. Now, I'm not saying to trade double the amount of what you're comfortable with. Drop down and trade micros. That's fine. Trade multiple micros and just take some money off every time you hit 5 points. How you do it is up to you. I'm just giving you very low risk places, very, very low risk entries. Stops and targets and all of that, that's on you, because a scalper doesn't trade that way. The way we would normally trade Able Trend, like the chart that I've been showing you for many years and the chart I showed you prior to this. Those rules are all the same. Nothing changes there. This is an additional way to use Able Trend. Repeat, this is an additional way, just another way. Nothing wrong with the other ways. In fact, they're fantastic. I mean, we've had 2 huge, very big winning days in a row, the normal way. That has just been killing them. It's been a fantastic year, the best in 16 years that I've been here. But a lot of people can't stay in the trade. Pick up those big, long trends that I showed you before, those huge winning trades that we had today. A lot of people, they got scared. Oh, I'm winning money. I'm going to give it back. I better get out. I'm too afraid. It's fine. Then you're not a trend trader. You're more of a scalper. Some people can't stay in that trade for a half hour today, that big, long half hour and 1 hour trades. It just goes against their makeup. And I repeat, that's okay. So you may want to consider a scalping chart. In and out quick, 5 points, 10 points, you know, just boom, boom, hit, run. And you can scalp every time the prices hit the dots. I mean, look at these great places to buy. If it's blue, that means you buy it when it hits the blue dot. Or the blue arrow is an even better one. Look at that trade here. I mean, that is just a thing of beauty. All we're looking for is buying on blue, selling on red. The 1 minute dots, they're good places to scalp. The blue arrows are even better places because look how the price went, hit the dot and just bounced off of it and literally went 70 points higher. Now, if you're a scalper, you just look for 5 or 10 points or 2 or 3 points or whatever. Fine. But you're just looking for in and out quick trades. Okay? We're not looking for, no places to put you can determine where you want to put your stop, where you want to get out. That's up to you. Because a scalper is only going to be in and out of the trade in a couple of minutes. So, quite frankly, don't even need to put a stop in. It's probably the safe thing to do. You're in on this trade here, put your stop somewhere up there, but you're going to be out of it more. A scalper would probably be out of it in just a few minutes anyhow. And if it turns around and it shoots up, you're just gonna hit the sell button. You're gonna hit the flatten button and be out of it anyhow. So if you want a place to, I would place my stop, under the very. This is a very strong support point, very strong. From here to here, because you can see the arrows, they're all at the same level. That's a very strong support point because it's it's a 3-minute support. If you could ever get a 15-minute, if it ever hit here, 15-minute support, oh my, that's going to be a really low risk trade. They bounce off of those big arrows like crazy, and they bounce off the 3 minutes too. Those are great places to get short. Okay, and if you did right here, look at how good that trade would have been. I mean, you'd be shorting it here at 11,005. Technically speaking, if you stayed in it, I mean, you've got nothing but blue dots, and blue dots means you're in an uptrend. And there's the first time it actually closes under the blue dot. I mean, that had the potential to make 80 points before you would exit the trade, meaning when it closes underneath a blue dot. You had an 80-point potential, but a scalper probably would have got it maybe after we got to the red dot, maybe after 20 points. What's wrong with $400 in 1 minute? 1 minute, not an hour. Some people can't stay in the trades that long, which is fine. You just, this is strictly for scalping, short-term trading. However, you can turn it into a long-term trade if you have a little more patience and you're reducing contracts on the way up. You're locking in profit. You know what? And the bar turns to blue. I most certainly wouldn't ever get out on a blue. I would never get out on a blue bar. The same way if I was short, I would never get out on a red bar. So this has just been crazy. I'm watching this for months now, and yesterday and today have just been, well, for months it's really been great. Some days where our normal chart wasn't quite as good because it was very choppy and very up and down, very bouncy kind of day. This was great because it just kept bouncing off it would hit the blue arrow and shoot up like it did right there, hit the red arrow like right here and shoot back down. Now, it doesn't have to touch it if it's within a point, if it's close enough. I mean, we're not going to get overly technical and get into, get a magnifying glass out and get crazy over it. But I mean, look at these. I mean, this is unbelievable. From here to here, you had the potential to make 40 points. But again, a scalper just looking to make 5 or 10, happy with 5 or 10 points. You'd be trading multiple contracts and just looking to hit and run. But you had like 50 places you could have taken trades. and 40 of the 50 orders, which is just a really high winning percentage. That's like 80%. That's unheard of. So the point is, this is for more trades, much shorter winners, but more winning trades. So interesting stuff. This is not something you're going to learn in one day. This is something that you're just going to have to keep on the side. Quite frankly, I put the two charts side by side. I like to look at ES and NQ and RQY at the same time. The same way that I like to look at the normal regular chart. I like to look at the multiple E-minis because when they all come together, boy, that just gives you more confidence. However, look at you want to be looking for the key are the bounces off of the arrows. That's the super trades. However, bounces off of the red dots means short it. Red arrows, short it, because look, it hits the red arrow here. Literally 1 minute later, it dropped 6 points. Well, a scalper is just looking for a couple of points. You hit your goal if that's the case. So unbelievable. Look at this here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that buy signal, because again, it's blue. Blue arrow bounces means buy. Blue means buy, and the arrow's pointing up. So I made it really easy for everyone because a red arrow down means the price is going to go down. Sell it. A blue arrow up means the price is going to go up. Buy it. Just obvious, obvious stuff. I try to make it as simple as possible. So don't trade real money with it. Just play around with it. See what you think. It's just an additional way to trade AbleTrend if you're a more quicker in and out type trader. This chart would be recommended if that's your style. It's not everybody's style, but if you want to do it, fine. Don't try combining this chart with the other one. You'll get mixed up. Keep it simple. So, awfully good stuff. I think you'll find this helpful. Look at a couple of quick questions, but I'm really over my time limit that I'm allotted. Michael, top of the bar, my friend. Just go to the next bar. Just go to the next bar like I showed you. For a really long bar, as we talked about, I think you'll find that helpful. Just use your own judgment. You got to do what you feel comfortable with. Femi, can you figure 3 time frames and the arrow? Tech support. Tech support might be able to help you with that one, Femi. Do you need to download a new Ablesys? Yes, you need to go to our website and click download. Whether you do Ninja Trader, just re-download Ninja and the chart will be there for you. It'll be in the templates. If you have AbleTrend, just re-download AbleTrend and you won't lose anything, and you don't have to delete what you have now. You just simply go to download, click and go to ablesys.com, click on download, then you click File, Open Workspace. It'll be right there on top. Click on Scalp, and then click on the data feed that you use. I try to make it as really simple as possible. You can use limit orders on the arrows if you want, but I'm not a big fan of that. I would just hit the buy, buy or sell market button. Buy or sell market button. You can just be in and out quick. Keep it simple. But if the color of the bar changes from green to blue and you're on a buy signal, you know what? Hey, stay in it a little bit longer. You might be able to squeeze some more out of it. As I showed you here, some of these winning trades went as many as 80 and 100 points. But that's not the mentality of a scalper. However, you're going to have a lot more winning trades, but you get a lot more trades. And remember, the more trades you make, the more commissions too. A bar with red arrows on top and blue arrow at bottom, still be a no trade zone. Incorrect, wrong. That's not the case for this scalping chart. You buy on the blue arrow and you sell it short on the red arrow. And you can also do so on the dots. It might not be as low risk or as strong of a trade, but you also can do it on the 1 minute dots. On the 3 minute arrows, jump on it. On the big 15-minute arrows, even better yet. No, it does not need to be deleted. You just download the version and it'll just go right on top of what you have right now. Greg, your choice where to put the stop on the scalp. I would put it far enough away so you don't get stopped out. Because if you see it turning and go the other way, you're going to be, you're in and out so quick. It's kind of meaningless, but that's fine. It's certainly the safe way to do that. But give it plenty of room to breathe. Don't put it too close. The worst thing you can ever do is put too close of a stop. You're in and out so quick, it's not going to matter. And of course, if you are still in it longer, that's a good thing. That means it's really running in your direction. Yep, just go in the direction of the color. I mean, you just can't get any easier than that. Yes, sir. Just go in the direction of the color. Blue is up, red is down. There are no trade zones for scalping, because no trade zones, you might be, you don't want to get in the trade for, you'll be in the trade for longer periods of time. Scalping, you're in it quick. Hit the buy market button, hit the sell market button. That's what a scalper does. However, as I keep repeating, if it's still going in your direction, and I mean, obviously, stay in it. Especially if the color turns to blue and you're going to almost 99 out of 100 times you're going to get in on a green bar. If it turns to blue and you're on a buy signal, whoo, hold on for the ride. You're going to make a lot of money. Same way if it's going down and it's blue and then all of a sudden it keeps going lower, now it turns to red, don't get out. You're going to go even further. It's like you're getting a push. Vin, can you set up candles? You can. I don't suggest it, but yes, you can. You just click on the candle on the top. Deb says, I wanted to mention that Jesse at tech support and Ablesys always helps me when I do a download, and my antivirus software blocks the feed. They are so helpful. Oh, thanks, Deb. You're welcome for saying that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. You're welcome. The Scalp 1-3-15 chart looks awesome. Oh, great. I'm glad you like it. Barry, you just hit the download button at the website. Yes, sir. And then you hit the, like I said, file, open workspace. Michael, would you take a retest, make an attempt on a retest of a 1 minute dot for scalp? You can. I mean, yeah, you certainly can. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Skip on all the TS indicator. No, it's not all TS indicators. Incorrect. We've modified the indicators. That's why it would take me too long to discuss all of that. Just download the chart and don't change anything. Don't change the time frames. Don't change the indicators. Don't change anything. We've set it all up for you. I think that would be the simplest thing to do. Yes, it's a template, as I showed you in Flash. It's a template. The template is in Abletrend and in Ninja. Durga, I showed the stock. I showed the stock. That was the first half of this webinar. I showed stocks. This Abletrend works exactly the same for stocks as it does for futures. It works just as well for stocks. And that's why I showed the first 10 minutes of the webinar with stocks. So this webinar will be online probably tomorrow. Yes, you get the templates in both Abletrend and in Ninja. So I hope this was helpful. I'll go through this again on Thursday, which is the advanced webinar for clients who have Abletrend. And we'll go through this a little more in detail. I just wanted to kind of introduce it, trying to give you a little, just a little heads up, show you how it works, where to download it. This is all new, so obviously you don't trade any real money with it yet. Just kind of watch it, play around with it. Don't change anything, but just monitor it. And ES, and both ES and NQ are just as good. You can decide however many points you want. Sid, scalping is just for short-term trading. You can trade 10 contracts and get in and out for 2 or 3 points. You make a couple $100. You can trade one contract We never ever tell anybody how many points to take or how many contracts to trade. You can stay in it for an hour and make 80 points. You just do whatever the chart says. Scalping by definition is for just making a few points. Generally I would say if you want to pin me down to a number, although I prefer not to do that, maybe 5 points for NQ, 1 point for ES. That's what you would, you could do it on 2 points or 3 points. You just have to trade more contracts for that. That's the definition of a scalper. Not everybody's a scalper. You just have to see whatever fits your style, whatever you're more comfortable with. Durga, I don't understand your question. Upper blue arrow and down blue arrow. The upper blue arrow, the arrow pointing up is always blue. There's no such thing as a down blue arrow. The pointing down would be red. So you sell on the red arrow, you buy on the blue arrow if you're using this special scalp chart only. And again, it's just for quick in and out type trades, because a lot of people have been asking me that for a scalp chart, because they just can't stay in, they can't pick up these very long trends. That able trend picks up 1 or 2 per day, but they just can't do it. It just goes against their makeup, and they find they can't handle drawdowns, and they say they're more scalpers. They like to get in and out quickly, make many trades during the day, and just kind of hit and run. Pick up a couple of points, 5, maybe 10, whatever you're comfortable with it. Everybody's different. I like vanilla. Somebody likes chocolate. Doesn't mean vanilla is better than chocolate. It's strictly personal preference. Okay, so we buy on blue, we sell on red. And Durga, you need to watch a couple more of the webinars, as I mentioned to you. Watch some of the webinars that are on our YouTube page, and I think you'll find that very helpful. So thanks everybody for being here, and stay safe.